Good morning, everybody. I think we're all in here. We are. All right, so we're gonna trim it down just a few minutes, just because my grandson can be a little crazy. He's currently outside with my mom. But yeah, we're gonna do kind of a well-rounded thing, but because we're cutting it down a few minutes, we're gonna get moving faster. So just listen to your body. Don't use the weights if you don't need to. We're gonna do some of those very small intrinsic movements, especially with our shoulders. So when we get into those, you may want to drop your weights altogether. There'll be more Pilates style moves at that point. So just do what feels good for you. You may feel like, wow, this 2-pound weight feels like 40 pounds in some of the moves, and just drop it if you have to. So again, starting at the top of the mat, if you want to put some fun music on, whatever you want to do there. Maybe we wiggle it out a little. I don't know why I always like to wiggle, but we're going to wiggle it out to start. Beautiful. Finding our center here. Maybe rolling our shoulders back and down. You can rock back and forth. Closing your eyes or softening your gaze here just for a few moments. Centering and finding our breath to start. Maybe this is the first time this morning you've had just to pause. And just to let go of all your to-do lists for a few moments here. Tuning inwards to your breath. And maybe it feels nice to take that cleansing breath this morning where we inhale, really fill up all the spaces that we can. And exhale, sigh everything out. Beautiful. Scanning your body from the top of the head to all the way down to your feet. And just noticing if there's any stories your body is telling you today. Maybe there's a part of you that's talking to you a little bit more than normal. And just honoring that. And becoming aware of that. Feeling how firm your feet feel rooted in the ground here. Beautiful. Then on our next breath, we can start to wiggle our fingers and our toes. We can slowly bat our eyes open if they were closed. Maybe we drop our head from ear to ear, side to side, or maybe we look one side and then the other. Beautiful. Then taking a couple breaths here, inhaling all the way up to the sky, nice and slow here. Exhaling down through heart center. Down through heart center. We're going to heel to our feet out just a little bit here. We're going to find a chest expansion. So once again, you can hold onto that beach ball, opposite elbows, or we can interlace our fingers, really extending our arms here, squeezing those shoulder blades together, heart shining forward, really opening up the front of our shoulders here. Maybe a slight rock back and forth feels good. Knowing that we don't have to stay stable. Beautiful. We can release out of that. We're going to inhale all the way up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Really letting our body be heavy here. Neck is nice and long. Beautiful. We're going to halfway lift. If we can, we're going to leave our fingertips on the mat and we're going to pedal this out side to side. Really feeling this stretch all the way along the back of our legs, I should say. Beautiful. Finding stillness here. We're going to bend our knees and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We're going to plant our hands, stepping the left foot back, lowering that left knee. You can untuck your toes, opening up our hip flexors here. Beautiful. Exhale, folding forward, left wrist down, right arm twist open to the right. Beautiful. We're going to circle this right arm around. We're going to tuck our left toes, bend that left knee, left foot meets right, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, full planting our hands, right foot back this time, lowering that knee. We can untuck our toes, rising up, opening up the right hip flexor. Beautiful, folding forward, right wrist down, left arm extending. Beautiful, circling that left arm around, left knee meets right, finding our tabletop, fingertips spread nice and wide. Spine is nice and tall. Before we start to move, we're just gonna find a couple rounds of cat-cow at your own perfect pace here. Maybe this feels really good. Maybe this is the first time we found a little bit of movement this morning. Beautiful. One more time. Exhaling back to center. We're gonna find our kneeling plank. And we're gonna find those tricep push-ups to start. So shoulders are over our wrists here, fingertips spread nice and wide. Really rooting into our thumb, index, and pinky finger to protect our wrists. We're gonna inhale here. As we exhale, we're gonna lower halfway down, elbows into ribs, and back up for 8. Nice and slow. 7. Think of your tank tops in this one. Nice tricep work. 5. 4, 3, 2, last one. Up, and then we can hinge it back, finding a child's pose here. Maybe we make it more active, keeping our forearms off the mat, really stretching our arms and our shoulders out, or we can release our arms to the mat. Beautiful, we're gonna inhale back to our tabletop. And if it's available, we're gonna find our weight and just place it behind the left knee. Right toes can be tucked or straight, whichever one you find more stability in here. We're gonna find almost a spinal balance where we bring that knee to chest, but we're gonna keep the weight there. So you're gonna have a couple different options. I'm gonna keep my hands down for my option, but you find whichever one feels good for you. So we're gonna lift that left leg up, still squeezing the heel towards our bum. So we're not extending this time in our spinal balance. We're gonna exhale, round that knee towards our chest, and then back out. If it's available, you can raise that front arm, rounding in, but just making sure that our low back stays straight the entire time. Again, I'm gonna keep my hands down. You can also do fists instead of wrists if your wrists are hurting. Beautiful, so we're gonna go 8 on the left side. So squeezing that heel towards the bum just a little bit to protect the weight. We're gonna inhale, exhale, lift that heel up to the sky, and then round in. Beautiful. 7, really rounding in. You can also lower the weight if you need to. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful, we're gonna hold our leg up high. If our arm is extended, we're gonna lower it to the mat, heel flex or toes flex, and we're gonna pulse that heel up to the sky for 8, 7, really feeling this in your glutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, beautiful, lower that. We're gonna do that on the other side, so again, you can shake that out, you can find any movement you need. And then we're gonna bring that weight behind the right knee this time. Again, left toes can be tucked or straight, whichever makes you more stable. We're gonna press that heel just gently towards the bum to hold that weight in place. And we're gonna lift the heel up for 8, round it in, knee to chest. You can extend that left arm if you'd like. 7, 6, making sure our spine is neutral and then the leg lifts up. 4, 3, 2, last one, lifting that heel up to the sky, flexing our toes, pulsing up for 8, 7, making sure our spine isn't rounding. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful, lowering that down. Beautiful. Fingertips spread nice and wide. Maybe we walk them a couple inches forward. We're gonna tuck our toes, lift our hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Bending our knees here as much as we need to. Spine is nice and tall.
We can pedal this out. We can find any movement that we need here. Beautiful, and then we're gonna bend our knees and walk our feet to the top of the mat, finding our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, rooting down, rising up to the sky. And exhaling, mountain. Beautiful, I'm gonna grab a sip of water. All right, so starting in our chair pose series, we're just gonna gently grab our weights to start. If you're using weights, or we can drop them as well. We're gonna start with our hands at heart center. Feet can be about hips distance apart. And we're gonna find more balancing chair, but we're gonna do a squat in it. And the reason why I've been doing so many balancing chairs lately is it is so amazing for ankle strength and ankle stability. So if it's not possible to lift your heels off the mat, or you find you're not stable, just lower them down. It's okay, you're still gonna feel this. Beautiful, so we're gonna start tall. Then we're gonna lower our hips just gently here in a little tiny baby chair, maybe a little bit more. If it feels okay, we're gonna lift our heels off the mat, finding that balancing chair. They don't have to lift very far. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna lower, we're gonna lift, and then we're gonna hold for a pause halfway for 8. Lower, lift, hold. Lower, lift, hold halfway. 6. Hold. 5. Lift, hold. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Hold it here. We can lower our heels. We can straighten up for a second. You can shake that out if you need to. Beautiful. Feet wherever it's stable. We're going to inhale here, create a little bit of length. Exhale, lower into our chair. We're going to do a row to a kickback here, or to a tricep press. So we're going to reach our elbows to the sky, weights into our side body, lower, turn our palms to the back of the mat, lift up straight arms. Beautiful. For 8, lift, turn our palms back, rise up, palms in, lift, weights inside our bodies. Beautiful. 5, if I'm counting right, nice and slow. 4, palms back. 3, 2, and last one. Beautiful, palms back, and we're gonna hold that up and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful, bring our hands back to heart center. Rise up out of that. Now we're gonna find a standing crunch. You're only gonna need one weight or maybe no weight. So we're gonna start on the right-hand side. I'm gonna face you here. We're gonna look almost like we're in our curtsy lunge, but we're not lunging. So right leg is just behind that left foot, maybe a little bit wider. Right arm extending, left arm can go wherever it feels good to find balance. There's a slight micro bend in our left knee here. We're gonna lift our right knee up towards our right elbow, really trying to get your rib cage down to your hip and then back. So lifting, we'll show that again, really squeezing and then releasing back. So all the weight is in this left leg, but we're also working our obliques. Ready for 8, nice and slow. 7, 6, 5, don't do that, don't fall over. 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful. And then switching to the other side. Who said we had to do crunches on the floor? Beautiful. Slight micro bend in that right leg this time. Left leg behind the right. Left arm extending. Right arm wherever it feels good to find balance. Beautiful. We're going to go for 8. 8. I'm not as stable on this side. 7. Nice and slow. 6. Really squeezing your rib towards your hip joint there. 5. 4. 3. 2, last one. Beautiful. And coming back to our mountain pose. We can grab our weights, you can grab a sip of water, whatever you need. Beautiful. Hands to heart center, reaching that left leg back, starting in a crescent lunge. Arms just beside us here. They're just here for weight and stability. We're gonna find our airplane, well, our hinge anyway. So one long line of energy from the crown of the head to the tail. And we're gonna do a one-legged crunch here. So we're gonna lower down into the right knee just a little bit. And then as we straighten, we're gonna lift off right heel or right toes flexed, squeezing that bum to lift the leg. Lowering for 8, 7, whew, I'm looking at the camera, 6, really making sure it's the glute that's working here. 5, and you don't have to lift that leg very high. 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful. Lowering that left leg. My right glute is talking. Beautiful. Hinging forward again. One long line of the energy, crown of the head to the tail. Again, we don't need to be very wide apart. We're going to find our chest fly. Elbows slightly bent here, weights in front of our chest line, reaching all the way out and back in. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful. Hinging forward, using our weights here, finding that left knee in and back. For 8, and back. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful. Left foot meets right. Maybe we find a little forward fold there. Maybe we shake it out. Beautiful. Bending our knees and safely rising back up. Mountain pose. Rooting into our left foot this time, reaching the right foot back. Finding that one-legged lunge, almost, it's not much of a movement. And then really lifting with our glutes to get that right leg off the mat. Arms just hanging here so that we're just using weight as a counterbalance. So we're gonna lower a little bit, lifting into that left leg, right toes flexed. Beautiful. 7, 6. Again, moving nice and slow, finding your stability. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Woo. Of course I fall on the last one. Beautiful. Finding our lunge here, we're gonna find another set of chest flies. So hinging forward, arms underneath our chest, elbows gently bent, palms facing each other for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Hinging forward, using our weights as a prop if we need to. Right knee in and back to our lunge for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful. Right foot meets left. Again, maybe we find a little shake. Beautiful. Bending our knees safely, bringing our weights to our chest. And then we're going to open up into a goddess pose. Beautiful. So moving around here if we need to. Beautiful. And we're going to do a little bit of lift and lower. Again, we can lift our heels the entire time, or we can keep our heels on the mat. Hands can just be gentle on the top, kind of like on our hip flexors, just not too heavy there. Spine is nice and tall. We're going to start by lowering down, tailbone toward the mat. If it's okay, we're going to lift our heels off the mat, keeping them lifted as we lift and lower for 8. Or you can lower your heels. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, you know what to do. We're gonna hold and pulse for 8, 7, really pulsing that tailbone down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful, we can rise up, we can lower our heels. And then we're gonna lower back down into goddess squat. Just gentle here. And this is where you might feel like your weights are really heavy because we're really gonna work the really tiny muscles in our shoulders. So we're gonna bring our weights up in line with our chest, and then we're gonna draw little tiny semicircles. Starting in the middle, drawing out a little bit, and then to the side, and then bring it back in. Beautiful. For 8, 2, 3 little circles, 3 back in. Beautiful. 7, 6, shoulders back and down, spine is nice and tall. 5, 4, this is where the weights might get really heavy, and that's okay, you can drop them if you need to. 3, 2, and last one. Beautiful, we can lower that down. You can shake that out if you need to. Beautiful, one more in our goddess squat here, lowering down, palms facing in. Arms are straight, just a slight micro bend. And we're gonna do an upward raise. So we're gonna raise our hands up in line with our shoulders, lower, palms facing in, all the way out to the side, vertical. For 8, palms facing in. 7, palms in, out to the side. 6, I think we have a visitor. 5, 4, 3, I'm gonna try not to hit him in the head. Beautiful. 2, and last one. Beautiful, we can rise up out of that. Beautiful, we're gonna make our way back to the top of the mat in our mountain pose. Come here, it's okay. Let's go get a treat. Let's go get a treat. Beautiful, so starting at our mountain pose, hands at heart center, inhale, lowering halfway. Finding a baby chair, rooting into our right foot, lifting our left knee towards our chest. And we're gonna reach that left foot back, finding warrior 2. Beautiful, we're not gonna open our arms up to either side this time. We're gonna bring our shoulders, or our elbows in line with our shoulders, finding prayer hands. Now, no, you can drop your weight here too, because you're gonna really feel in your shoulders. You can just press your palms and your elbows together, creating dynamic tension. You can also hold one weight, whatever you'd like to do. So if we're holding weights as well, we're gonna try to squeeze those elbows together here. Elbows in line with our shoulders, and we're gonna do tiny pulses for 12. 12, moving them only a couple inches up and down. 10, 9, really squeezing those elbows together if you can. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one here. Beautiful. Lowering out of that left hand by our left hip, right arm extending, exalting our warrior. Beautiful, hands to heart center. We're gonna straighten that right leg, pivot that right foot, and we're gonna find that on the other side. So left foot pivots this time. Warrior 2, second round of our shoulder pulses. So again, you can drop your weights if you want. Really bringing our elbows in line with our shoulders, squeezing those elbows together if we can. And we're gonna pulse up and down just a couple of inches for 12, 11, 10, 9, spine's nice and tall. 7, 6, I may have added one. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful, hands to heart center, right hand by our right hip, left arm lifting up. Beautiful, hands to heart center, straightening that left leg, heel toeing that in. Making our way to the top of the mat, we're gonna bend our knees, dropping our weights here. Rising up, we're gonna wash this out, inhaling up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold, planting our feet and making our way back into tabletop. We're just gonna find a couple more things because he seems to be relatively calm. So we're gonna find our elbow plank, but we're gonna drop our right hip to the mat to start. I don't know if you can really see me because it's all black. Our legs are kind of on a 45-degree angle. Now, no, you can also find, so we're gonna bring our arms around into our elbow plank. So we're almost twisted here, and we're gonna lift and lower this right hip. If it's available, your legs can extend and you can lift and lower that hip. I'm not there today, but by all means, you can try. If not, we're gonna keep our knees on the mat, lifting up that right hip. We're really gonna work our right obliques here. So spine is nice and tall here, shoulders still over top of, shoulders over top of our elbows, pressing our forearms into the mat. So we're gonna lift and lower that right hip for 12, 11, trying not to touch it all the way down, just giving it as much movement as you have, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful. Then we can lower that hip. We can rise up out of that and find that on the other side. So this time, left hip down. Legs are kind of on this 45-degree angle. Legs are together. Finding that elbow plank here. Shoulders over our elbows. We're going to lift this left hip up this time. Lifting and lower for 12, 11, 10, 9. Know that you can also extend your legs all the way up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful, lowering out of that. And we're gonna press ourselves up into our seated. We're gonna find a semi-boat pose. You can use your weights if you need to, or if you'd like to, I should say. Fleshy bits away here. Knees bent, feet on the mat to start. If you're having any issues with sciatic or low back pain, I don't want you moving that far back. Go until you just feel your core engaged and stay there. If you go too far back, you can really restrict things and it can cause further damage. So being really mindful to where you are today. Beautiful. We're gonna start with our weights at heart center if that's available. Feet on the mat to start. Belly button into spine, really exhaling, pulling out all the weight, and then lowering back to wherever you feel your core turn on, but you can maintain a straight spine. Beautiful. We're going to bring our weights, our shoulders in line with our elbows, weights apart, palms facing each other. And we're going to open up like goalposts and then bring them back together. The other option is if you want to lift your feet off the mat as well, you can try a whole bunch of different variations. We're going to go for 10, 9, 8, making sure our sits bones are really rooted, and that's what we're waiting on here, or that's what we're balancing on. I don't know what we're at here. We're going to go for 6, 5, 4, squeezing those shoulder blades if we can, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful. We're going to lower that down. We can drop our weights. We can walk our feet in a little bit more, wrapping our arms around our legs. Spine nice and tall and exhaling our chin to chest. Beautiful. We're going to lower all the way down to the mat. Just do a couple bridge poses and then we'll stretch out quick. So lowering all the way down, hugging knees to chest if that feels good. Rocking side to side maybe. Beautiful. We're going to lower our feet to the mat. We're going to grab our weights if that's available. We're going to bring our weights just above our hip flexors here because we have lots of mobility. Walking our feet in as close as we need to, or as close as is comfortable. Hips and knees are in alignment here, really rooting into our shoulders and our feet. We're going to exhale, lift our hips up to the sky. And we're going to lift and lower for 12, 11, really squeezing our glutes together here at the top. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Hold it at the top and pulse for 12, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift and lower for 12 more. 12, 11, 10. Squeezing our glutes here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, hold pulse for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, minor screaming 2, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Lowering out of that. We can drop our weights. We can hug our knees to our chest if you like. Beautiful. We're going to lower our feet to the mat, right or left arm over our head, rolling over onto our side body and making our way up into our tabletop. Beautiful. Finding that neutral spine to start. And we can find a couple rounds of cat-cow here. Beautiful. One more. Beautiful. We're going to reach our right foot to the back of the mat as we exhale, rounding and bringing that right foot between our hands. Rising up, low lunge. Maybe we walk that right heel forward just a little bit. Opening up our hip flexor. Exhale, folding forward, walking our hands back, straightening that right leg, right toes flexed. Maybe we round in, maybe we just keep our spine nice and tall. Maybe that feels better. Noticing what stretch you need here. Beautiful, walking our hands forward, planting that right foot, right knee meets left. Tabletop. The name of that one eluded me. Left leg extending, and then rounding and bringing that left foot in between our hands, rising up again. Maybe we want to walk that left heel out a little bit here. Beautiful, folding forward, walking our hands back, straightening that left leg, left toes flexed. Again, maybe we keep our spine tall and we just hinge forward more. Maybe we round in. Beautiful, walking our hands forward, planting that left foot to start. Left knee meets right, tabletop. Fingertips spread nice and wide, hinging our hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Again, we can pedal this out for a minute. We can rock our hips side to side. And then we're going to bend our knees, walking our feet to the top of the mat, finding forward fold. Beautiful. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, rooting down, rising up to the sky. Maybe we find our cactus back bend, squeezing those shoulder blades together, bending our elbows, inhaling up to the sky, exhaling, mountain. We're going to inhale all the way up. Exhale, twisting open to the left. Beautiful, left arm circles down, reaching our arms up, twisting open to the right. Right arm circles around, reaching up. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Inhaling up to the sky, nice and slow. Exhaling, mountain. One more time, nice and slow, all the way up to the sky. Exhaling our hands down through heart center as we bow in for a moment. Thank you so much for joining me this morning on this little bit of a shortened variation of yoga with weights. The love and the light with me truly sees and love, truly sees and honors the love and the light in each of you. Namaste. And I hope everyone gets to enjoy some sunshine.
Yes, thank you. That was a great stretch. Great workout.
No problem.
Thanks, Laura. That was wonderful.